So good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are located. And thank you for joining us today. We are going with Henry Rodriguez, the director of Terranova, Costa Rica, our DMC. We are going to a spectacular region of your country. So Henry, I let you start.
Hola, Dominique. Thank you so much again for the opportunity to reach out and spread the word about our destination with all of our clients. And thanks for this amazing platform that it's been just fantastic for us to teach a little bit more and to for everybody to learn a little bit more about what Costa Rica has to offer. Allow me to share my screen and we will get started.
And we are so happy that you're able to share so much of your knowledge, because really the way you have done Costa Rica region by region, I think it's a gift. Every travel advisor who attending the webinar are definitely a great tool to know what to propose their clients.
Well, it's such a pleasure and it's an honor. I'm really happy to really share everything that we know with our clients. It's very important for us that you that all of your agents know that they can count on Terranova to design their amazing experiences here in Costa Rica. And the best way to actually go for that is to really spread the word about what the destination has to offer and what we can do for clients coming over. So for us, it's a pleasure, and I'm so delighted to be able to share more and more information about Costa Rica with all of you. And today, continuing with our tour around the country, we are going to enjoy one of the most amazing parts of Costa Rica. We're actually missing just 2 more, so we will cover the entire country. So by hopefully February, we will be done with this series, discovering each region. And then later on, we have more surprises to come because there's still a lot more to learn about Costa Rica. And we will involve some of our preferred partners because we want you to understand better and to learn more about each hotel that we work with, also about each experience. So we're working on some fun things to do for 2022 for you to continue coming back to these webinars and learning more about Costa Rica. But today we are going to go to, like I said, one of the most amazing parts of our country, which is the Osa Peninsula. The Osa Peninsula, located here in the South Pacific side of the country, is this amazing, beautiful peninsula here. And this is said by National Geographic, not by us. So these guys know what they're talking about. This is supposed to be the most intense in terms of biodiversity part of Costa Rica. It is where you really have an encounter face-to-face with nature. It's where you have an encounter with nature, with wildlife, with what this amazing, beautiful green land is all about, which is conservation, which is saving our forest and saving our natural resources for the future generations to come. So if your clients are looking into a one-on-one contact with nature, this is the place to go. Like I said, it is located in the south. As you see, this is a closer look. We have this little peninsula here with this bay, which is the Sweet, which is a Gulf actually, the Sweet Gulf or Golfo Dulce. As you see, we're also very close from the border to with Panama, the border onto the northern part of Panama. So this area combines very well with another of our favorite properties that you, Dominique, know very well, which is Islas Secas. So just keep in mind that we could do combinations between Islas Secas in this part of Nicaragua and this part of Costa Rica. We have different important cities in, well, small cities, of course, in this area of the country. It is a very remote area of Costa Rica. It's not too developed. We have a few airstrips Over here, we have one in Palmar Sur, we have one in Golfito, we have one here in Puerto Jimenez, and we have another one here in Sierpe, which is the one that we use when you want to go to this part of the peninsula. We have a couple of national parks, the Corcovado National Park located here, and the Piedras Blancas National Park located in this site. Funny tips is that this is actually a tropical fjord, which it's very interesting because it's one of the few that you could find in the world, and it works or it acts as a maternity room for the whales, because when it's the whale season in the months of September and October, we have whales who are migrating from north to south, stopping here to have their babies in this part of the country. So more and more things to see in this area. How to get there? Basically, we need to fly. We need to fly out of San Jose, because to drive from San Jose to this part of the country is very far. The flights take approximately 50 minutes tops. And like you all know, we use these smaller aircrafts, which are Cessna Grand Caravan aircrafts. They have capacity for 12 passengers. And they have a regular cabin. I mean, there's no business or something like that. These are very similar to the planes that you use when you move from national parks in Africa. These planes, well, these airstrips have something interesting, which is that they don't have lights. So we need to fly there during the day, because we need the daylight to be able to land and to take off. So that's an interesting detail, because sometimes you say, but what about doing a night flight down to Osa if my clients are arriving at 5 in the afternoon to San Jose? Well, unfortunately, we can do that because of the fact that these airstrips don't have any light on it. So you cannot really land over there. Remember that these planes do have a limit in terms of luggage because of the capacity that they have. They have a 35 pounds per person allowance, plus a hand piece of luggage, like a handbag or something like that. What do we do with the extra luggage in case we have clients coming over? Well, we could have we could keep the luggage stored in our offices here in San Jose, so the client can pack what they're going to be using for the stay in Osa, and when they fly back to San Jose, we will give them the rest of the luggage, or we figure out a way or the other. And this actually, this requirement with luggage is not that strict. It really depends on each flight, because for example, in this plane, you could have 12 people, maybe 6 don't have any luggage because they are locals or they are just going over for the weekend. So the amount of luggage that they are allowed to use that they're not using could be used by the 6 people that do have a couple of suitcases with them. So it's really something that it depends at the moment that we're doing the check-in, and if they can take the luggage, that could be taken in a later flight, of course, with an additional cost. But if we can avoid that, if we could have, if the client can leave part of their luggage with us, that would be ideal. Oh, sorry. Okay, like I said, this is definitely the most intense in terms of biodiversity part of the country. This is something that these guys from National Geographic have been studying this area, and they name it like this. It is an amazing area that just covers 700 square miles on the South Pacific coast of the country. It used to be actually an island on the Pacific long time ago, but thanks to the volcanic activity, part of of what we know today as Panama in Costa Rica emerged from the ocean, and it became kind of it connected the two masses that already existed, and it became what we know today as part of Costa Rica and part of Nicaragua. That allowed a lot of different species of birds and animals and plants to migrate from north to south and from south to north. So they kind of met in the middle in this, well, in Costa Rica and also Panama. And that's why these two countries are so biodiverse. but especially here in this part of the country, they kind of interact and met and stay there. So that's why it became such an amazing biodiverse part. And it's so intense and so beautiful. Some facts about the area that I have mentioned to you before is that it has the most significant wetland ecosystem and mangrove forest in Central America. It is the largest remaining tract of lowland rainforest in the Pacific Mesoamerica. 2 to 3% of flora is found nowhere else in the world, which is really amazing. And we have 140 mammals living in this part of the country, including 25 species of dolphins and whales, which again make it as a very interesting part to visit. It's so exotic over there. I haven't been in a while, but that's something that we need to change quickly. We have 323 endemic species of plants and invertebrates over there. The largest population of scarlet macaws in Central America reside in this part of the country. More than 5,000 vascular plants, more than 10,000 insects, more than 700 species of trees, 463 species of birds, 4 different species of sea turtles. So you see what I mean when I said before that if you really want to have a one-on-one experience with nature, this is the place to go. Usually, and something that we'll see in a bit is that the hotels in this area are a little bit more rustic, of course, because this is such an isolated part of the country. So what we do is that we try to start the trip with a visit to this part of the country so they can have the encounter with nature and everything, and then we go to other parts of the country where they could be a little bit more developed. That way you will have more of a resorty kind of experience with more services. You could be pampered a lot more because in this part it's a little bit more rustic. In terms of weather, important to mention is that this is very humid. This is very close to the tropics. So it's very humid no matter what time of the year you travel. The dry season for this area starts in January and goes all the way to April. And the rainy season happens during the months of October, November, and December. Like I said before, the whale migration season is September to October. So even though you're coming, if you're coming in October, you're going to get a lot of rain, but you have the added value of being able to see the whales migrating. This area has trade winds that can bring rain at any time. So like I said before, it could be the middle of January, which is the driest time of the year in most of Costa Rica, but you could have some winds coming over from the ocean, from the Pacific Ocean, bringing a lot of moisture, and that will definitely bring a lot of rain. Important because of that is to bring an umbrella to this part of the country. Definitely you need to also be very comfortable in terms of what to wear. You don't need, I mean, this Costa Rica in general is not a very formal destination in terms of what to wear. Everything is very casual, unless you're going to a fine dining restaurant where you need to be a little dressed up. But especially in this part of the country, shorts are essential. The temperature can rise up to 32 degrees. With that humidity and that temperature, you really need to have dry fit clothes. You need to have shorts. You need to be very comfortable. Lots of suntan lotion, lots of insect repellent, because it could be you could find quite a bit of bugs or insects in this part of the country. So it's all about being comfortable, having very good walking or hiking boots or sneakers. That is essential, as well as your swimsuit, and you're ready to go, because you're going to be doing a lot of hiking and you're going to be enjoying a lot of the Pacific Ocean in that part of the country. Let's talk about the hotels now. The hotels that we work with, or our preferred suppliers in the area, or how we like to call them, our curated properties. Like I said before, there are 3 different regions in this part of Costa Rica. On the northern part of the peninsula, you have Drake Bay. In the southern part of the peninsula, you have Puerto Jimenez, and inside the Gulf, you have Golfito. So those are the 3 areas that we focus on, and we're gonna get started with Drake Bay. I want you to take a look at this picture. As you can tell, this picture, these are most of the beaches that we are going to find in this part of the country. As you can tell, the rainforest actually almost gets into the ocean, basically. This is part of what makes this part of the country unique, because you have this amazing combination of beach and rainforest. Sometimes when you have high tide, the water, the ocean may go all the way up to the trees. On the low tide, you have more sand to walk through or to enjoy the whales, the waves. But this is something very particular of all Costa Rica, to be honest, but you could see it more intensely here. You have beautiful beaches, but they are completely covered by nature. It's not this idyllic beach idea where the beach is very long and there are only maybe a couple of palm trees so you can walk for hours. Here you can do the same, but you're going to be covered by the shade of this amazing rainforest that covers most of the beaches over there. The first area or the first hotel that we're going to talk about in this part of the country, close to Drake Bay, is actually Casa Corcovado. Casa Corcovado is located right next to the Corcovado National Park, which is one of the main reasons to go to visit this area. All of the hotels in the area, something important to mention is that they don't have air conditioning and they don't have TVs. You may say, oh, but we may need air conditioning because it's too humid. But it is so interesting because actually during the evening we have a lot of wind blowing and it feels very cool. You don't really feel that you need air conditioning. And again, remember that this part of the country is a little bit more rustic. It's a little bit more of the beaten path. So this is basically the price to enjoy such amazing green location. So Casa Corcovado, it's like I said, right next to the Corcovado National Park. They have actually two pool areas. They have a full beach in front of the hotel, which is again covered by nature. Most of the rooms are standalone casitas that are in the middle of the jungle. These casitas could have either a king size bed, two queen beds, and all of them do have a little bit of a day bed because they could host from 2 up to 5 people on the casitas. Just like any other hotel in the area, this property includes the meals and includes also activities. Ideally, to travel to this area, you need to stay there for 4 days. So you will have the day that you arrive and the day that you depart are kind of cut because of the travel. So you have actually 2 full days to enjoy the area. One of the days you have to go, and these tours are included, like I said, on the price of the program. You have to go to the Corcovado National Park to do a hiking tour. And on the other day, you have to take a boat ride, and that is going to take you to the Caño Island. The Caño Island is a small island that is located about an hour, maybe less than 50 minutes to an hour by boat in front of the coast of this peninsula. And it's one of the best spots for snorkeling and diving in the country. So you will enjoy not only the beach, the rainforest, but also you will have time to enjoy the ocean. On the right, you will see a lot of different wildlife, marine life, sorry, like you'll see tons of dolphins, some rays if you're lucky. And if it is the whale season, you will be able to encounter a whale here and there on the way to this island. Um, the option number 2 that we have in this part of the country, it's called Copa De Arbol. As you see, they keep this standalone casita style. All of these properties do include meals, like I said before, and also activities. So this is the second option that we have in the area. It's also located on the Drake Bay area next to the Corcovado National Park. They do include also the hiking to the Corcovado National Park and the tour to the Caño Island. They have this beautiful deck slash pool area with different levels overlooking the ocean. And the food on the property is actually very, very good. And these hotels include meals because there's not really a town to go out dining or other restaurants nearby or other hotel nearby. For these cases, for these two hotels, you could fly to Drake, and there you will be taking land transfer on an SUV that is going to take you to the hotels. If you land to Palmar Sur, you will take a boat ride that is going to take you to the ocean. You're going to border the peninsula until you reach the beach of any of these two hotels, and then go up the property. So again, very remote, not for everybody, but definitely whoever enjoys this kind of properties and this kind of locations will fall in love for sure with this part of Costa Rica. This is actually what you see on the Corcovado National Park. As you see, it's very dense, very intense, and well, the ocean around it, beaches. The beaches are, they don't have white sand. They are more golden, brownish sand. But the beach itself is not the main thing to see and to enjoy in this part of the country. It's actually the national park, and that combination and that amazing biodiversity. That's what you come and experience here. This is, of course, like I said, one of the experiences that we offer there. Actually, about maybe 5 to 7 years ago, I personally was walking on the Corcovado National Park, and we encountered one of these guys, a puma. He or she was just laying on the trail, just hanging in there. We walked. The guide stopped us, asked us to stay completely quiet, so we could have the chance to see a beautiful puma very close. And they have been seen in the gardens of the hotels. I mean, no incident has been reported, fortunately, by an accident or an encounter with these guys going wrong. They're so beautiful. They're just big cats, very big and strong and hungry cats, but cats at the end of the day. So they are very cute, and it's amazing to be able to see them in the wild. The Caño Island, the island that I was mentioning to you, ideal for snorkeling and diving. Something important to say is that this is not um, an island where you go and see beautiful color fish, because there are no coral reefs around the island. You go and see actually bigger marine life. Like I said before, manta rays, maybe sharks, maybe tuna, big schools of fish. So you go and enjoy the big fish here instead of the small colorful fish that you could see in other parts of the country and other parts of the Caribbean of the side of the area. The second area that we are going to be talking about is actually Puerto Jimenez. Puerto Jimenez is located in the southern tip of the peninsula. They have their own airport there. Well, it's an airstrip actually. So you could fly directly to Puerto Jimenez, and you can stay at one of the hotels that we work with in the area. One of them is actually La Parrillos. La Parrillos is sister company, sister hotel with Pacuare Lodge. They belong to this hotel chain that is called Moena, and they actually added 2 more hotels, one in the Caribbean side and one in Monteverde. So they are growing. And the good news about that is that they are investing a lot of money in the properties to keep them up to date. So at La Parrillos, they actually built 6 more suites like these ones over here in the picture. And as you see, you are in the middle of the jungle overlooking the ocean. La Parrillos, it's an institution. It's been in the area. It's been operating for quite a while. These are actually the standard rooms, which is the entry category. They're called bungalows. And as you can tell, they have these amazing views to the ocean. Something interesting that you see, well, and they have been doing a lot of changes. This picture is not that updated, but they used to have just these blinds that you could fall down. And that's why, as you see, it's completely open. So you get all the breeze from the ocean coming into the room. So you don't really need air conditioning, especially at night. They all have these beautiful decks. They have a full pool area, the restaurant, and they do have a lot of activities on site. So that's something interesting about La Parrillos, that on the price you have a full menu of activities which is included in the rate. So you can choose between different hikes to different trails, hikes to different beaches. They have waterfalls in the area. They have a couple of tours that are very interesting, which are basically tours that teach you everything that they do to give back to nature. So it's kind of a back of the house experience where you see all the efforts that they put into place in order to help conservation in the area. So that's one of the things that I will definitely recommend to do. It's a short tour. It takes about a couple of hours, and you go literally to the back of the house to see what they do with everything that they dispose, with what's left from the food and from the preparation of the food. So it's very interesting to understand everything that is behind the operation of a property that is sustainable like this one. Over here, we have the second option that we work with in the area, which is called Remanso Lodge. Remanso, it's also located near the Puerto Jimenez airstrip. From when you arrive into Puerto Jimenez, you have to take a transfer, a land transfer. To get to La Parrillos, it takes about 45 minutes. To get to Remanso, it takes about 20 minutes. So that's how close they are located to the local airstrip. El Remanso does have beautiful rooms. Actually, they have some of the suites do have their own plunge pool, which is an added value, and they again offer a lot of different activities in the area. As you can tell, this same way to build in the area, which is the standalone casitas. This one has a little plunge pool around here. As you see, they have the solar panels here, so all the electricity and the water is heated by electricity that it's product of the solar panels. So it's very interesting again to go and understand everything that you could do to give back to nature and to keep this as sustainable as possible. As you see, the rooms are very sleek, very clean lines, a little bit of a Nordic style, I dare to say. Um, a lot of wood, which is also something that it's very interesting in this area. And the views from these rooms are just fantastic. Some of the experiences that you could do in this part of the peninsula, remember we are on the southern tip of the peninsula, they have very good beaches for surfing. So it's not only about the adventure of looking for wildlife when doing hiking, but also surfing. It's very interesting in this part of the country. Of course, some of these trails that you go and see these giant trees around the hotels are top things to see and do over there. And let's go inside the golf now, and let's go to Golfito. Golfito, or Little Golf in Spanish, it's another of the areas to visit in this part of the country. You have a direct flight from San Jose to Golfito, which takes 50 minutes. From Golfito, you land into the local airstrip. You take a transfer that takes you to the dock, and from the dock you take a boat that is going to take about 40 minutes to get you to the hotel that we work with in this area, which is this one, Playa Cativo, one of my definite favorite hotels in Costa Rica. Not only because of the location, which is very remote and beautiful, not only because of the activities, which are a lot, because you have the ocean in front, you have the Piedras Blancas National Park next door, and you have a couple of rivers where you could go and do kayaking and stand-up paddle and other activities, not only because of the great food that they serve on the property. Again, meals included, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on site. The only additionals that you would have to pay for are the alcoholic drinks, but because of the people. The team at this hotel is such an amazing group of people who will really make you feel at home with visiting friends or family. They go above and beyond to help you with anything you need, and it's something really, really special. It really makes a difference in that area. The rooms they have different categories, of course. As you saw, in this picture, this is the main building of the hotel. Here you have one of the two restaurants that you can find there, and also the reception space. And then you have 3 floors of rooms with different categories. There are 2 or 3 rooms per floor. And then around this building, you have beautiful gardens, and on the gardens, you have other units. Some of the units do have decks like this with views to the ocean. As you see, a lot of wood, a lot of beautiful small touches here and there with the nice furniture, with a beautiful painting, with amazing bedding, very comfy beds, by the way. So this is a very special property. The pictures, to be honest, don't really make it do it good to the hotel, because it's hard to explain. You really need to live it to understand what I'm talking about. This is another property. Actually, this is the dock at Golfito. Again, as you see, always surrounded by beautiful forest and very green all over the place. This is Hamaca. Hamaca is actually a small property that it's just opened a couple of maybe a year and a half ago. As you see from this picture, you can see the marina here. This is the Golfito Marina, from where we have a lot of different boats departing and arriving. And this is the point where we take the boat to go to Cativo, which is the one that we just saw. Hamaca is actually they only have at the moment 12 rooms, but they are going to be growing, because there's a huge project for this marina that is going to become a very large marina in the near future. The rooms are very a lot more modern. They do have air conditioning. This is actually the one hotel in the area that has air conditioning. Beautiful rooms, great decor. They have a great restaurant also. They don't include meals, only breakfast, because this hotel is more accessible. You have access to Golfito town. You have access to a different to all the boats that can be here at the marina. So you could do different activities from here. So it's easier to come in and out of the property, and that's why they don't include meals. Some of the activities that we could do here in the area, Piedras Blancas National Park, like I mentioned to you, right next to Playa Cativo. Beautiful hikes there, lots of wildlife, very similar to Corcovado National Park. Kayaking at the Terranova River. I did this experience and it's so nice. The level of the water is very high, so it's very easy actually, but it's very calm. And we saw actually some wild boars crossing the river. So it was really amazing to see maybe 10 or 12 of those little animals swimming to go from one point to the other. And you get to see a lot of birds over here. This is a paradise for bird watchers. So this is one of the activities that we could do there. And well, this is the marina at Golfito. The project has grown. They now have more stations here to have yachts in bigger and smaller boats docking. So we could do city tours to Golfito, which is very interesting. This city of Golfito, it's a quite important city in the area. The United Fruit Company used to base there to produce palm oil long time ago. Fortunately, they left, and I said fortunately because this product needed a lot of space, so they were cutting down a lot of forest, which fortunately was able to stop, so we could enjoy this amazing greenery that you see here. But by the time that that company was based here, they built a beautiful town. They built there's a lot of history around here, so it's interesting to do also city tours. And that's a little bit of what I had to share with you today. I think I'm doing good in time. Yes, 38 minutes, which is great. I see some pictures here. I mean, some questions here. So let me stop sharing my screen and let's see what questions we have, Dominique.
Thank you very much. My dear Henry, that was again very complete and very nice and a bit different because I don't think everyone was familiar with all the area, maybe beside the first part that you described. Huh? So,
Perfect.
Celine, you want to know, I understand that you have different decor in different rooms. Can we request one specifically for guests?
Well, yes, actually, you're talking about Playa Cativo, and it really depends on the room type, because depending on the room category, we will I mean, we could ask for a specific room. It's going to depend on availability, of course, but each category is quite similar. So the standard rooms are quite similar. Then you go to the junior suites that are much larger, but they are all similar among each other. So it really depends on availability at the time of check-in and a booking, because we can put on the special request, but that will definitely depend on availability when they check in. Um,
Thank you, Henry.
you're
Celine, you're
welcome.
asking, is the river quiet or any nice friends around like wild animals? So Henry already mentioned the wild boar. I don't know if we call them nice friends, but I guess they're swimming and they're minding their business, I would say.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's something that just happened, that time. Is not something that we could guarantee, but you get to see a lot of birds, you get to see iguanas, you get to see monkeys. So yeah, there's a lot of wildlife that you could see along the river banks.
But I think in Costa Rica, because the wildlife is not aggressor, they're not on defense, so they probably just mind their own business. They're around you, huh? Like you described the puma, he was not moving because he's never under threat, correct?
Exactly. I mean, they don't feel threat because they are just on their natural habitat, and we are just part of it. So it's a symbiosis. We live in harmony all together. And he must be already full because he wasn't hungry.
Lucia, you're asking, what do you recommend for family with kids?
Lucia, qué gusto saludarte. Basically, this area of the country, we do encourage people or families to go when they have children, maybe over 6, 7 years old. This is a very wild area of Costa Rica. There are snakes, yes. So you need to be careful. And if you have small kids, the experience may not be ideal. You will be stressed out to make sure that the kids are not in any danger, or that they are not playing with something that could be, I don't know, give them an allergy or something. And they don't have, there's no air conditioning, so the kids may feel a little uncomfortable to sleep. So yes, we do recommend it for families, but when you have kids, maybe 6, 7, 10 years and up.
Thank you, Henry. Celine, you're asking, what is a mariposa season? Are there different type, and are there different types?
Well, Celine, actually, here we don't have a specific season for butterflies, because uh, they just, you could find them year round, basically. I mean, I'll dare to say that maybe the summer months, January to March, you may have more chances to see butterflies because it's not raining that much. But then during the rainy season, we also see them. So there's not really a butterfly season, a strict butterfly season to say so.
I'm laughing because Celine, what she wrote, she said, Henry, I will make sure to have you on the tour to watch the wildlife. They know you, not me.
That's right. Actually, it's funny because this, for example, the puma. When I was there and this happened, the general manager of the hotel was having dinner with us, and he said that he was been living there for I don't know how many years, and that he has never seen a puma up and close. So he was very impressed that we were able to see it, and we had pictures to prove it. So he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." So I don't know. I guess
He went out to
animals
say
like
hello
it.
to you. Huh?
Yeah.
So another question, when you go on tour, do we have to wear certain type of clothes or color which are recommended?
Actually, no. As long as it's comfortable, that's good enough. I mean, again, you're going to be doing a lot of hiking, so some good hiking boots or hiking shoes are recommendable. I always recommend to wear long pants, because you're going to be
In the jungle?
going in the jungle, so it's best to have your legs covered. No restriction in terms of colors. I mean, if you go to Tortuguero, for example, in the North Caribbean side, and you're going to see the turtles at night, they recommend you not to wear bright clothes because the bright colors could kind of confuse the turtles when they're coming off the ocean to find a spot to lay their eggs. But that doesn't happen here in this part of the country. So colors not a problem as long as everything is comfortable in dry fit, like from these outdoor brands that you have out there that I'm not gonna mention because they are not paying for any publicity, right, Dominique? But when things
I was going
dry,
to give my the pants, the brand that I have, but no. I have very,
but yeah,
very light
but
pants for
as
humidity and so light and
exactly, so they're light. I mean, avoid denim. Denim is a no-no
oh
in
yes,
all over Costa Rica because it's too
too hot,
heavy, it's
too
too
hot.
hot. So anything that is made out of cotton is great, or something light. For the evenings, I love to wear like this light, beautiful white shirts or things like that that are very comfortable. Linen shirts, but denim, forget it.
Yeah. So, my dear Henri, we went a little bit over time, but it
I'm
was
sorry.
wonderful. So we're gonna say goodbye. I don't see any more question, and we have a lot of thank you, and so thank you to you, my dear, and we'll meet again for another region of Costa Rica. Huh? So
We'll
and
meet
wishing you the
again.
best for your festive season. I think some of you arrive later. There might be some space due to some country that close their border again and might have to cancel their stay. So check again with Henry if you have any requests, last minute requests for festive. I see something on the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you to everyone. And,
thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dominique,
you're
again
welcome.
for
Bye-bye.
making these spaces. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's and Happy Holidays for everybody. See you 2022 to continue our tour around Costa Rica.
Happy holidays to everyone. Bye-bye.